All right, it's time to go over my top 10 wide receivers for week 2. Starting here really quick at number 10, we're going over Justin Jefferson. And hold on, just hear me out. He's still in my top 10. I don't think he's cock-a-doodle, but he's going against the 49ers defense that I think is going to be really tough to get the football. I think Sam Darnold's going to be sacked quite a bit, and it's just going to make it a little bit more difficult for Justin Jefferson to have even more opportunities to score some fantasy football points. We're looking at a 49ers defense right now that ranks 23rd against opposing wide receivers. Sam Darnold may be sacked a lot. I don't look for a lot of opportunity for Sam Darnold to sit back in the pocket, take his time, and launch the ball down the field with Justin Jefferson. I think if there's going to be an injury, maybe even to Jordan Addison, who knows what's going to go on, who's going to be the opposite of Justin Jefferson. They're going to roll the coverage over, just kind of double team him all game long. I just can't put him above number 10 in my rankings. Again, he's an elite wide receiver. Nothing against him or his talent. I just think there's opportunity in who he's going against this week. Paired up with Sam Darnold at the quarterback position, I just think it's a recipe for a non-success, right? So just be wary when you have Justin Jefferson. You're obviously starting him if you have him. I have him in my top 10. It is what it is. I'm just saying temper your expectations just a little bit for Justin Jefferson on what you're going to receive in week 2 here against the 49ers, guys. So we were along here at number 9. We're going Rashee Rice. Somebody who really he's kind of evading this suspension probably for the rest of this year. Then we'll be talking about it more of next year. But Rashee Rice right now, you can see he is a huge benefactor of Hollywood Brown not being there right now. He is targeted just like he was targeted last season. He is the main go-to guy for Patrick Mahomes. We saw that in week 1. That's going to continue this week against the Bengals, right? Bengals right now ranks 2nd against opposing wide receivers. He showed that he is the alpha dog. Target share of 33% in week 1. That means he was getting a lot of targets. He was just getting peppered all over the field. If they needed to look for somebody, especially the very first drive of the game, he was getting targeted, peppered with these targets. It looked phenomenal. I thought he was going to have a freaking monster game. I'm talking about over 200 yards receiving. Didn't really quite get there, but what I'm saying is he targeted him a lot. Now, do I see some things maybe being decreased because Travis Kelce, he's not going to sit there and play second fiddle the whole time. He's going to get more involved probably here against the Bengals as well, but I still think that Rashee Rice, if you got a wide receiver, Rashee Rice is going to be the go-to guy in this offense on the other side of Travis Kelce there. I love what I see from Rashee Rice. I think it's going to continue to be good for him this week as well. So we're right along here at number 8. I'm going Jamar Chase. As of right now, it doesn't really look good. T. Higgins going to be missing another game here in week 2. And I told you guys about T. Higgins. I told y'all, stay away from this guy. Any nagging injury T. Higgins is going to have, he's going to stay and say, you know what, I need to sit out of the game. His biggest asset right now is his health. He needs to be healthy so he can sign himself a good contract. But Jamar Chase, he's the lone man over there, right? We got Yoshi Foss on the other side too. Jermaine Burton really hasn't gotten into the game to be any type of fantasy football relevance. I look for Jermaine Burton hopefully to get worked in sooner rather than later. But Jamar Chase is going to be the main benefactor of this and really going to cash checks for you, especially this week against a Chiefs defense that ranks 7th against opposing wide receivers. He should have a complete workload, right? 83% snap share, snap percentage in week 1. Look for him to be probably at 90% in week 2. They said, look, we're going to limit his workload. Still 83% snap share. That's a pretty good workload, right? They didn't limit him too much, but look for it to be even better in week 2 for Jamar Chase. He should be able to be on the field quite a bit for you to score a lot of fantasy points against a team that I think they can beat. They can sit down as far as the secondary goes. They can beat these guys, right? They want to choose that they belong. They belong here with the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is the game they got to come out there and prove it. They have to prove it, and I think Jamar Chase will be a big benefactor if they are able to do that, guys. Move right along here at number 7. We're going Mike Evans. So you saw the hookup between Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans all year last year, and they were able to even hook up a couple times in week 1. I think that's going to continue to be so in a game that I see it's going to be very, very close. Back and forth, 2 teams with the Buccaneers and the Lions. We see, Chris Godwin was the bigger guy as far as receptions in week 1. But this could flip-flop back and forth from Mike Evans to Chris Godwin on any given week. I think this week they do lean on Mike Evans a little bit more, and that's why I have him here at number 7 for me. The Buccaneers right now the Lions, ranked currently 31st against opposing wide receivers. It should be a high-scoring game, right? It should be a lot of back and forth while the Lions are scoring, the Buccaneers are scoring, and that bodes well for Mike Evans, who should be able to, beat some people down the field and score some good touchdowns for you. Look for Mike Evans to be involved early and often this week in week 2. Right, moving right along here at number 6, we're going Garrett Wilson, and it must have been very, very good to see Aaron Rodgers really hone in on Garrett Wilson. Yes, Mike Williams isn't really up to speed yet. Alan Lazard can't catch a cold. It is what it is. It's all Garrett Wilson if they're going to be successful. They hand the ball off to Breece Hall quite a bit, and when they're throwing the ball, they're probably looking for Garrett Wilson, guys. Looked really good against a 49ers defense. This week they're playing against a Titans defense who ranks 8th against opposing wide receivers. Rodgers is completely locked into Garrett Wilson right now, right? He has to be. Who else can he lock in on, right? I mean, whether it's Corley out there or Mike Williams or Alan Lazard or just anybody out there, it's not going to work, right? I mean, Xavier was out there for, I think, every single play, and he didn't even get targeted once. So Xavier Gipson, almost irrelevant at this point. But again, if you have Garrett Wilson, you're starting him each and every week. He could be a top 5 wide receiver each and every week, and I wouldn't bat an eye at that whatsoever. I do like him this week in week 2. Moving right along here at number 5, it's going to be A.J. Brown, right? A.J. Brown, again, he's one of those guys that he's dominant. He is the guy. It's just the offense has a lot of people around him, whether it's Devonta Smith or Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, and Jalen Hurts, right? But Hurts does target A.J. Brown quite a bit. I think he's going to be needed this week if they are going to dominate the Falcons. It should be a close game, in my opinion. It should be a little bit of back and forth action. I think the Eagles end up coming in here and winning the game, but I do see the Falcons may be able to keep up with them just a little bit, which will keep these guys throwing the football quite a bit. They're going against the Falcons defense currently that ranks 5th against opposing wide receivers. Jalen Hurts' main target in the offense is unquestionably A.J. Brown, and that's going to continue each and every week. You may have these spike weeks from Devonta Smith, but don't get it twisted. A.J. Brown is the man for this offense. He's going to continue to have big weeks, big spike weeks for you, and sometimes he could probably win you a week, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's this week against the Falcons. Yes, the Falcons do have a better secondary. I get it, but I think A.J. Brown is just elite enough to get the job done here in week 2. Move right along here at number 4, we're going CeeDee Lamb, and he was able to do really good against a decent Browns defense in week 1. So this week he gets against the Saints, again, another good secondary out there. I think Jake Ferguson's health is going to be a big benefactor on how good CeeDee Lamb's going to do. If Jake Ferguson isn't able to go, I think he has an MCL sprain, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can fact check that for me down in the comment section below. But he may not be able to suit up in week 2 against the Saints. And if that's the case, you got Brandon Cooks, an old New Orleans Saint, and you got CeeDee Lamb over there, right? I mean, it is what they got. Luke Schoonmaker at the backup tight end position. They got a lot of cuckadoodle at the running back position as well. The Saints defense is much improved and really good. They completely dominated the Carolina Panthers, but the Panthers are not the Cowboys. So we'll kind of have to wait and see. But currently the New Orleans Saints ranks 13th against opposing wide receivers, and he's really Dak's security blanket. He's going to have to be Dak's security blanket this week, because if Jake Ferguson can't suit up and play, it's going to be a lot of CeeDee Lamb. That's why I like him here at number 4, even though the Saints have a good secondary, probably one of the better secondaries in the NFL. I still think the opportunity alone will succeed and help CeeDee Lamb provide plenty of fantasy points for you. Moving right along here at number 3, we're going Cooper Kupp. Yes, he's taking the toll here. I told you guys stay away from Puka Nacua. I thought Garrett Wilson was even a better choice than him, and it just so ends it. Puka has an injury right now, right? We don't predict injuries. I thought he's going to have regression anyway, but now he's guaranteed to have regression, missing quite a few games. But who's going to be the benefactor? That's going to be Cooper Kupp. He was peppered with targets in week 1. He's going to have plenty of targets against a defense that will not be able to stop Cooper Kupp. I love Cooper Kupp this week, going against the Cardinals defense that ranks 24th against opposing wide receivers. No Puka means even more opportunities, and I love that for Cooper Kupp. He was already high on my list before Puka Nacua's injury, but I think Cooper Kupp can get back to what his old self was. He was the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football just not too long ago, guys. We can't forget what Cooper Kupp can do, especially with Matthew Stafford, who has a lot of confidence in Kupp and can get him the football at a good high clip, good accurate type of quarterback to throw the football to Cooper Kupp. Phenomenal play this week against the Cardinals team they're not going to be able to stop the Rams whatsoever. Going to be a lot of points scored for the Rams, and I think Cooper Kupp is going to be the main reason why. Coming here at number 2, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I know people are super disappointed with the output that Amon-Ra did, but guys, I'm telling you, he doesn't go away easily, right? You can't say, oh, he's done for. You got to knock him down in your rankings. No. he is very much involved with this offense, right? They had a couple down the field shots to Jameson Williams. This, I think, is going to be a game. It's almost like a get-right game. I think Jared Goff's going to force-feed the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown as a way to say, hey, man, sorry I didn't get you the football, but I'm going to show you that you are the #1 wide receiver for this offense. We're going to get you the ball quite a bit against a Bucs team that should be able to keep up in points with the Lions. So it should be a really good game. Right now, the Buccaneers are ranked first against opposing wide receivers, but don't let that fret not. They were going against the Commanders in week 1 with Jaden Daniels, his very first game of the year, game of his career. So I think there's just a little bit kind of to play. I don't think they're really the best pass defense against wide receivers. I think that's kind of a little bit, it's 1 week. It is what it is. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown will completely shred this defense and easily be my #2 wide receiver on the week in week 2. Coming here at #1, there's no question here. It's got to be Tyreek Hill, right? At any given game, he can completely explode and dominate in fantasy football. Tyreek Hill going against a Bills team that should be able to keep up with these guys. And on Thursday, it's going to be high scoring. There's going to be a lot of fireworks happening, and Tyreek Hill could be one of those fireworks going absolute ham. So it's taking on a Bills defense that ranks 10th against opposing wide receivers. Nobody is going to be able to slow down the cheetah. Please stop me and tell me down in the comments who on this defense is going to be able to keep up with Tyreek Hill. Don't worry, I'll wait. Nobody. It's going to be phenomenal. Tua's going to keep slinging the ball over there to Tyreek Hill. The dude is absolutely fast. Should be able to score a plethora of points against this Bills team. I love Tyreek Hill in week 2. But guys, that is my top 10 wide receivers for week 2. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button down below. We are pumping out videos each and every week to help you best dominate in fantasy football and ultimately win a trophy. Now, guys, leave a comment down below. Do you guys agree with my top 10? Do you not? Let me know in the comments. I like to go back and forth with you guys. I can't wait to see you on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.